Okay.
Right, before we get started, let you guys know if you want to join our weekly Zoom and talk about spirituality, non-duality, twin flames, divine partners, whatever you'd like. If you're on a spiritual path or just got into non-duality, we're here to talk about it all. And you could just reach out to Shannon. Her email's in the description box below, and you can join us on our weekly Zoom. Shannon, you want to get started?
Yeah, no, is there anything that's come up for you at all this week that you want to talk about?
I know we talked a lot over text, over Messenger, me, you, and Monique about something, but I can't remember now.
It was about the healing, about, um, just basically, how it seems like it's sticking, but really it's not. It's just the same emotion appearing to happen in different ways. So it feels like it's sticky and lingering because, it's showing up in different ways, but it is the same emotion. And that's why it just drags out and it lingers. I think that's what we were, you know, talking about.
I think we were talking about something different,
Which one?
um, like non-duality, something. I don't know. I just know that that was my mind. But see, okay, so basically, I forget a lot, right? I can't go back in time and revisit anything anymore. Like whatever happened, happened. And I mean, it was real. We experienced it, but then it's gone out of our memory. Like it doesn't mean anything anymore, and I can't access it anymore. So it's like this constant flushing out of the psyche in a way. But some of the same shit keeps happening, but it's like happening at the moment and happening at the moment, and then it just gets erased. But I mean, I know I wanted to talk about that, but I have no idea what it is now. So you could talk about whatever comes up for you.
Well, no, you're right. Because I know with me, like I had gotten into a discussion with a lady yesterday, and it was about trauma. It was
Uh-huh.
about like, do people bring their traumas into their relationships, things that have happened when they were child in their childhood? And I was like, to me personally, I feel like that's just an excuse for a person to blame whatever it is that they're going through on their childhood trauma. To me, like childhood trauma, whatever that is just a memory and something that's just arising at the time. And what happens is when it does arise, people, the character, whatever you want to call it, makes it sticky by saying that and believing the fact that it has to do with their childhood trauma. Yeah, it may be a memory that's coming up about your childhood trauma, but when you're sitting there creating a story around it in a narrative, that's when it kind of lingers over into the relationship and blah, blah, blah. It's just a sensation, an emotion, whatever you want to call it, that's arising at the time, and you're having to remember it. But the memory, you're keeping the fucking memory alive when you're creating that narrative, that story about it. I don't know. So,
I
anyways,
have a totally different outlook on that than you. I mean, I grew up in a very like abusive household with a lot of trauma. All my relationships till now were the product of that, where I had men that were narcissistic and hurting me and abusing me. And my childhood trauma did play out until the self dropped away. And I now have a good man. And I don't have that childhood trauma playing out anymore. But I did have a trauma as I got older, and that trauma has stayed with me even though the self has dropped. So I really don't know what to say about trauma. If the self didn't drop, I would have still had men like that. I would have
I mean,
still had.
or is that just what's arising? I mean, if you believe that, then yeah, I mean, but to me, I feel like that's just a belief. That's just something that, like, when something's arising, you're looking at it as what it is. I mean, you're looking at it in that way. Maybe that's just what you were, that's just what was happening for you at the time. And maybe the
Well,
person
I mean,
that you're with right now is what's happening too. Like, that's just what's happening. It has nothing to do, I don't think, to me personally, because I mean, I had fucked up things that happened to me, and I've had some really fucked up relationships, and I've had some good ones, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not, because I don't think, with, for me, my perspective, whatever, I don't think it has anything to do with my childhood trauma. I just think that that's just what was happening. It just appeared to happen that way. I don't
well, I
know.
never had a good relationship. So I couldn't say, oh,
Yeah.
that's just what's appearing to happen. They all came like my dad. It was like my dad, my dad, my dad, my dad. It was just not one. And then the last one was my mom. And I was like, oh, fuck my life. I really can't take this. And I don't know. I mean, to me, if the self was still here, I would still, that's what I think, because that's what happened, that what appeared to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
But when the self dropped away, I attracted a nice person finally, like, whoa, the first one in 40 years. But and I have none of those hangups I had in the past with my relationships, my psychological bullshit, trusting, oh, this, all the other codependency all dropped away. So I can't say it was just what's appearing to happen, because it's like, I don't know, it's like saying your twin flame wasn't the catalyst of your spiritual awakening. I mean, they were, even though that's bullshit, it's the same. It doesn't matter, but it does. It's like this, I don't know. It's very
I know,
confusing.
but the self, whatever that is, dropped away over here. But I still get fucked up dudes that try to come at me, or I get some good ones. I mean, I don't think, if the self has dropped away, that you're gonna. It doesn't matter. Like, you can attract a fucked up motherfucker. It
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't
When I
matter.
first started,
There's,
yeah,
it is
yeah, yeah.
what it is.
You're right about that, because when I first started dating, I was just like, what is that? I mean, how am I even attracted to that? Because it was like some real fucked up guys. So I'm not saying it's that, like, that's what happened, right? But that's what appeared to happen for me. That I ended up not having a lot of the same childhood shit that I had, and I had some really bad shit. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever is appearing to happen, but it appears to happen this way here. That's all I
Yeah,
can
like, it
say.
doesn't matter. Like, the spiritual community, whatever they would call it, they say you can't have one without the other. You can't have the light without the dark. Like, the same as, like, the shit that comes up for you when you're going through your, like, when energy is like arising, and you're going through your dark times and you're going through your good times. It's just what's happening, and it is what it is. I don't feel like people are like, oh, I'm with a narcissist and blah blah blah. What's a fucking narcissist? That's another an excuse. That's okay. By you saying that motherfucker is a narcissist, you're giving that person an excuse to act like a fucking dick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It is what it is. There are so many fucking people out here that people will say they're narcissists, whatever. It is what it is. They
He's just
don't
an
need a
asshole.
label. Yeah, they're just assholes. They're just
Yeah.
dickheads. And to me, to blame that on a childhood trauma is just, to me, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just what's appearing to happen. And you being with that person or leaving that person is just what's appearing to happen. It doesn't need to be defined. It doesn't need a label. It's just, it is what it is. And that's all there is, really.
I
You
mean,
know?
I totally get what you're saying, and I totally agree with you. But then I also, if someone asks me, has it changed since your non-dual awakening, I would say, yeah, things have changed, not always for the better, but some for the good, some for the bad. And yeah, I mean, I guess it just played out this way for me. I don't know. But I'm still in narcissistic situations, which I was trying to get out of, like family dynamics. That shit's still playing the same, but I feel I'm different in the reaction of them. Like I'm like less affected or I don't know. There's some sort of difference in me where I'm not getting so offended anymore the way I used to. So I
Yeah.
guess shit still is the way it is.
You know, the girl too, she was like wanting, like, because she was like saying, well, you know, the fact is, you know, people do have childhood traumas. And I don't even know what that is anymore. I really don't. Everybody goes through fucked up shit. Everybody does in different ways, though. Just in different ways. I had my issues. You had your issues as a child. Fucking probably my grandkids go through their, they go through. I mean, everybody goes through their own issues. My daughter too. You know, I don't know what kind of parent I was to her. Apparently, she says, you know, I was a strict one, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But like with this woman, she wanted to debate with me. And I can't even do that anymore. I don't even have it in me. She was just like, well, you have to face the fact that, you know, there is some truth behind it. You know, a kid, oh, there is some truth behind someone being in a relationship and it brings something to do with their childhood. I don't even remember, man. Do with the childhood stuff. And I couldn't even respond to her because I don't even know what to say to that. I don't have it in me to go back and forth with someone anymore. Like I say what I
Yeah.
gotta say, and then it's like, and I also, you know, all I said to her was like, that's your perspective. That's all I could say. Normally I would have like went back and forth with her, right? Back and forth and debating it, but I just don't have it in me. And oh, what I really wanted to talk about too, since I have you on here, friendships have changed
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Like I have certain friends that love me unconditionally. They don't hold conditions over my head. They accept me for who I am. They don't have these high expectations. If I'm not wishing them certain things on their birthdays, anniversaries, fucking you name it. Like if I'm not, it's like the ones that hold high expectations of me, I can't like, I don't have it in me keep to hold on to that friendship anymore because I don't want to be put in that box. Like if you're going to hold high expectations of me doing something, then you're going to get disappointed because to me, you holding high expectations of me wishing you a happy birthday or doing certain things for you is not genuine. It should come natural for me. I should want to do that, not because you want me to do it, right? And I find that a lot now. I'm just at a place where I'm like, I need to back up because I don't want this person holding attachments to me anymore when it comes to friendship. You know what I mean? Holding expectations. I
So
can't do
like
it.
friend, yeah, like friendship. See, for me, friendship and relationship changed. And that's what I'm trying to say is that before I would let someone in a relationship and a friendship hold those expectations of me. I just can't do it anymore because now we're operating so raw and genuine and from the truth and just this like I don't even know what to call it, but it's just raw. And I can't make myself send you a happy birthday when I don't want to send you a happy birthday or I can't do it. Example, Valentine's Day passed by. I couldn't buy my boyfriend a gift. I tried. I wanted to. I can't do it. I
Right?
couldn't do it.
So
And
overrated.
and but I usually would do it, right? Because that's the right thing to do, something, right? I couldn't do it. And I didn't do it. He didn't judge me for it or anything. He's like, oh, that's totally fine. But if he was to say to me, oh, you should have got me something, you should have said blah blah. I can't be with someone like that anymore because I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna feel like doing something. And if someone has expectations of me, I can't attend to someone's expectations anymore. I have to just be real and honest. And even with my friends, if they wanted me, oh, you didn't check up on me or you didn't, what I can't be friends with those people. I gotta call them when I want to call. I want to give when I
Yeah.
want to give. Yeah, we just can't operate like that anymore. Like, because there's you don't care to please anyone anymore. You don't care to operate from like self-esteem, or to look good, or to do something because everybody else is doing it. We're so authentic now and secure in ourselves, like if you want to call it ourselves, but there's like a security, like it's there's a worth that you don't have to do extra anymore, and you just do it when you want to, when you feel like it. So I totally feel you with the whole friendship stuff. I mean, it's
You
changed big time.
and it fell off for me a long time ago. I've never had friendships. Most of my friendships have just been natural. Like we just kind of we're friends and it's just genuine. There's no expectations there, but I have the ones that they have these high expectations and it makes me feel suffocated and trapped.
Right?
And I don't like that feeling. And here I'm gonna go with the astrology. Okay, I'm a Taurus. And in the story, a Taurus does not like to be controlled. And a
Yeah.
Leo. I'm a Leo too. So it's like I can't, I'm triple times like in the
You need
story.
freedom. Yeah, you need freedom.
Yeah. I need that freedom. Like you can't hold me down like that because it will make me feel like I just can't be me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the unhealthiness of a friendship that I think changes friendship or relationship or whatever after the non-dual awakening. We just can't be suffocated, caged in, have expectations. It's like we need to flow. I don't want to say flow, okay? Because
Yeah.
non-duality, then it sounds like we're spiritually flowing or whatever. No, it just needs to be genuine and honest, and just happen when it happens,
Mm-hmm.
whatever's happening. So no, I feel you with that one. And I mean, I struggle with it sometimes, because I want to do things sometimes, um, but I can't seem to do them. And I feel kind of stuck. But I mean, at the end of the day, nothing happens because I
Yeah.
just can't do it. So I feel you.
I know
What else?
my daughter was like, Mom, because for Valentine's Day, she was like, Mom, I bought, to my grandkids, she was saying, Mom, I bought Phoenix and Serenity, this and that, and this and that for Valentine's Day. And I did it. I did it. And it's because the holidays
Special
just don't
anymore?
mean anything to me anymore like they used to, right? Like there's no meaning there. So it's like just another day for me. And I ended up buying her some gummy bears. I said, because we were in the grocery store. I said, you want some candy? Because my daughter made me feel bad, and she looked at me and she pointed at gummy bears, and I just threw them in the cart. I was like, all right, you got your gummy bears, but I just like you said, it's like I don't have that motivation anymore like I used to, and like even with work and stuff like that, like I love DoorDash, and I'll say it over and over again, only because I feel free when I'm doing it. Because
Yeah,
there's no like, you have to do it, or
yeah.
like I can stop when I want to stop. I can, start when I want to start. I just feel free. Now, if I was to go work for the school district, I'd be on a schedule. I'd have to take a break here and there and all that. I cannot. Like literally, I will fucking walk out.
I will
Cause
die.
yeah,
Me too. Me
and I'm
too. I
so
can't do
glad that
it.
John's understanding. And I think you're in the situation like with, with what's going on with you, because there's an understanding there. Like, and John understands, like, I just don't have it in me anymore. I cannot do it.
You know, there's so much meaning that's been lost in work, in holidays. I mean, I know this sounds really bad, but even in my relationship, it's important to me, but there's no meaning behind it. And only you would understand what I'm saying. There, there's a lightness to it. It's not like before, like, oh my God, this religion, it's like, it's not like that. It's just another thing, everything is just, there's no meaning in spirituality. There's no meaning in work. There's no meaning in making money. There's no meaning in relationships. There's even in my family relationships, I care, but there's also not this heaviness like the way it used to be. Don't get me wrong, I'll cry and break down if something happened to anybody. I'll probably process it as deep as possible. But there's just no meaning in life and death and there's no meaning.
Because we don't even know what it is. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what any of that. And I know it's hard for our viewers to understand that. Like when we say we don't know what it is, it's almost like when a baby's born and all they see is the view, and it's not even the view, but that's all in the story is the view, and all they see is what's in front of them, but they don't know what the fuck it is until our parents tell us. They'll show them, like, you're a person, your name is this, that's a tree, that's the sky, that's the fucking house. Like, everything is, everything has to have a label. But it's like with us, it's like we've had this rebirth. And in the story, it's like we had this rebirth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's no more labels. There's no more anything. There's no more nothing. We don't have someone in our face telling us this is that, this is this, and this is that. We actually can be like, I don't know.
Yeah. And we don't tell people too, this is how it's supposed to be, and this is how it's just free. But I just remembered what I wanted to talk about. You sent a message about a speaker, I don't want to say their name, and it was a quote. And I want to go back to it and read it.
I know who you're talking about.
Should I read it or no?
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to read it because that shit was, I mean, you just, when you sent that, I was like, what? Okay, so this is a non-dual speaker, and it says, notice when you are waiting, and I didn't mean waiting for an appointment, but rather a psychological waiting, which feels like lack and lackluster. Once you become aware of this energy, revert back to yourself. Now that's where I'm just like, as the source, and the unconscious fog will vanish into the light of your presence. When you sent that to me, I was like, that can't be a non-dual speaker, right? That can't be, because there is only one. There's only this. There is no more two, right? Non-dual, there's no more duality. So you're speaking of two, revert back to yourself. That's not non-duality. That's spirituality. And that just got me thinking about, like, that's what non-duality is that there's no more two. There's no more reverting back. There's no more presence. There's no more now. There's no more let me be in the now. Let me be the present. You're nothing. You're absolutely nothing.
That's what me and Monique were talking about, because she was talking about Eckhart Tolle. And I said, well, Eckhart Tolle talks about the now. And to me, when I think of now, I think of meditating, trying to stay present. And to me, that's spiritual. And I used to, like, literally be so hard on myself with not being able to stay in the now. And the whole time you're already in. You're already,
Yeah.
you're already there.
I used to meditate and be like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then I realized you can't. You can't do it. Like, I spent so many years trying to perfect my meditation. It's impossible. And there's people that are meditating in, like, I don't know, ashrams or whatever they're called, for 20, 30 years, trying to get their mind to have samadhi or whatever, which I had a couple times. But you just can't do it. Even now, as nothing, our mind is always just blah, blah, blah. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's not blabbering stories, but shit is happening.
Apparently, yeah.
So yeah, that quote of reverting back to yourself. I don't know if you want to talk to non-duality speakers that say revert back to yourself, because there is no self.
That's why I think I agree with you. I think she's trying to please her spirituality viewers.
Yeah.
I think she just wants, it's the followings. She wants to keep her followings. And like you said, the spiritual community is a lot bigger than non-duality.
Yeah, no one wants to hear what we have to say.
No, they don't, because they don't understand it. They want to get where we are, but they can't get it until it appears to happen that way. Yeah. You know what I mean? And There's no consciousness. There's no yourself. There's no moment. There's no present. There's nothing really. And you can't, I don't know. It's just what's arising. And it's completely okay. Like whatever's coming up for you is completely okay. And even if the person is frustrated about what's coming up for them, that's okay too, because that's just what's happening.
You
It's
know,
all okay.
I know this sounds like a very sad thing to say, but I just like people to know up front, this is my situation. I got into spirituality to get my twin flame and to heal from my trauma. And I didn't get shit. I didn't get shit. I didn't get my twin flame and I didn't heal the shit that I wanted to heal. I am still in the same place that I went into it wanting to get something. You don't get nothing. You don't get your magical you don't get enlightenment, you don't get your twin flame, you don't get your well, for me, my trauma didn't really go away the one I wanted it to go away. I'm still living the same life. My family's still narcissistic, shit's still the same, but I have less stories playing in my head. Sometimes I have stories, but not really. But overall, it's just what's happening. But life
Happening.
is still fucked up in certain places, and it's pretty like the way it was. Like
Well,
it's
and when the story's playing your head now, it's you realize that it's completely okay. There's no more stickiness there because and it may feel like there's stickiness there, like I said, because sometimes the same thing can pop up, but it just shows up in different ways. So that's why that stickiness feels like it's there and it's dragging out. But there's this realization that that's okay though. Like everything is okay. It's being okay with it though. Like some people really are like they want to heal it.
yeah,
They want to do a substance to get rid of it. They want to do some sort of method to get rid of what's coming up for them. And that's when it becomes more sticky
yeah.
because they're trying to capture it. They're trying to hold on to it because they think it needs to be healed or it needs a substance to take it away from what's coming up. That's when it becomes real lingering and
Yeah, they
sticky.
just, the people don't want to have no hope about something. It's really sad. They're all trying to run away from whatever's going on with their life. And I get it. I was one of them.
Yeah.
But at the end, I couldn't. I'm still in the same boat, but I maybe affected less. I still feel pain on certain things even deeper, but I'm more like, I don't know, like less affected by a certain things, or they just, they're less sticky, right? They move.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't get anything out of, if you go all the way and you go into non-duality or whatever, you don't come out, you know,
Better.
getting your twin flame and shit.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, I know I sound like a Debbie Downer, but it's the truth.
It's so funny because I wasn't spiritual until after I found out I had a twin flame. That's when I became spiritual because I thought that spirituality was going to help me bring my twin flame closer to me.
Right? Yeah, that's what
And because you're
everyone's doing.
reaching levels, you're wanting to reach different levels and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my God, he's over. I have to do this or I have to help him down here and blah, blah, blah. And honey, he's still the same asshole that he was doing the same ass shit. And that's what you say. You say they're just assholes. They're just assholes. Twin flame, narcissist, whatever the levels. It's
Yeah.
all bullshit. They're still who they are. You
You know,
know.
me and Monique were talking about that. Because there's a one lady that me and her do follow a little bit, and the lady makes a lot of sense, but yet she is kind of like she's really she's still the person. But sometimes when she expresses about, twin flames and shit, it kind of like it's really interesting.
Resonates.
Yeah. And she says that with the twin flame, apparently they share the same energy frequency, right? The same exact energy frequency, apparently. And when the person is desiring and obsessing and yearning the twin, Because they share the same energy frequency, the twin, like they're both doing this. The
Yeah.
twin will desire and yearn and obsess as well, but not towards you. They do
Uh-huh.
it towards anything else but you.
Uh,
Okay? Because they're you. They're supposed to be you energy wise. If you're yearning and desiring, they're yearning and desiring, but not towards you, towards everything else but you.
So you have to change that.
Well, no, you don't have to change it. You have to be at a place where you're okay with what's coming up for you as far as desire, yearning, obsession. It's when that fear-based energy comes up while you're yearning, obsessing, and wanting.
But
That's when,
I don't
huh?
feel that. I don't feel that. Where's my twin?
No. What they're saying is when you're finding no, there's no telling when the twin flame will ever come back. They could pop up now or a year or two, but it's like once you're at a place though, at being okay with whatever's coming up for you, they're at a place at being okay. This is what she says, apparently. They're at a place of being okay, but there's no telling when and how they'll show up though. So all that healing that you do to get rid of the obsession, to get rid of the yearning, to get rid of everything, all the clearing and chakras and all that shit, doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day because it's not going to bring them
You,
closer.
you'll be okay, and then they'll be okay.
Yeah, they'll be okay. And they could just appear and then they may not. But
I
yeah.
couldn't, for me as a person, I was so obsessed that I could never be okay. I mean, I would, if he called, I'd probably have a nervous breakdown. I was like
And that's
energetically.
okay. That's okay. It's when you're not okay with having that breakdown and you're hard on yourself. You're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have been so hard. I shouldn't have let that fear come up. I shouldn't have, when you're really just in your head about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's when it becomes a problem. So basically, it's all about you being authentically who you are, accepting yourself unconditionally with
Yeah.
whatever's coming up for you. And
Yeah.
that's what makes the twin flame want to, it brings it like this. But when
Well, for
you're not
me,
okay with it, that's when they're more like,
he
that's what,
never, he, for me, he never came back.
no, there's no telling. That's the thing is when
Yeah.
you'll know, like we already know, we're at a place where we're okay with where we're at. We're okay. It's like whatever's coming up for us, it's whatever. But there's no telling if that's going to bring the twin flame back or not. So all these people that are trying so hard to get their twin flame to come back to them, there's no telling. There's no control over
Yeah.
how and when that's going to happen.
Yeah. And they all have this story. Okay, if I do this, if I do that, he's gonna come back. And no. There's no telling. I fully died, and
Yeah.
he ain't here, and I don't want him either. It's just like you never know. You never. I mean, maybe it is someone's story that they come back. Maybe it's not.
Oh
I don't
yeah, it's
know.
a catch 22. I always say that. It's a catch 22. There's no telling at all. But a person that they make it their goal to get that twin flame back. And the twin flame, apparently, if they're sharing the same energy as you, it just doesn't work. You can't, they're just there to show you. When they come back, apparently, it's to show you that you're doing basically apparently good. But it's not because, you know, for you to have a relationship with them. If you want to have a relationship, you can. But just know,
My heart hurts for all the twin flame people.
right?
My heart hurts so much because I was watching all those videos and trying to go to the 10th dimension and become
Yeah.
I don't know, who knows what the fuck I was doing. I mean, I was, Kundalini hit me and I thought I was going somewhere. I thought it was 5 years of going. So I was on another dimension and another. Oh my God, I'm healing his karma and all this fucking magical shit happening. And then this complete shit show at the end, like, no, you're not getting him. You ain't going to no dimension. You're nothing. It was like, fuck my life. Like,
Right.
it was so sad. But I'm okay now, but it's like you're going somewhere and you just nothing, it's like, whoa, and it's a spiritual path too. I mean, I don't know. It really sucks. And I hate to see those twin flames that are waiting for 30 years or 10 years. It's just, I feel so bad.
I
I wish
know.
I could just slap them and wake them up, but what are we gonna do? It is what
You
it is.
know, in my group, I have a twin flame group that I've kept up for a very long time, since 2016, actually. And it has grown. It has grown. And I'm always posting our videos in there. Just, it's there. I place it there just for them to see, I mean, if they resonate, they resonate. And if they don't, they don't.
They
You
don't,
know,
huh? Or do they get scared of it?
I I've gotten more people, yeah, on it. There's people, that are interested, and then there's some that probably aren't. It will happen when it happens, I guess, but you know, look at us. It appeared to happen for us when it did, I mean, non-duality happened when it happened. I wasn't, because I tell you what, when I was first watching Anna Brown, I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. I was so lost when she was talking about non-duality. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? So
Yeah.
I had followed her for a little while, and then something told me to go back. And when I did the second time, I couldn't stop
Boom.
watching her. So I'm saying it just appeared to happen for me like that. Like all of a
Yeah,
sudden, it was
yeah,
like it was my time apparently to watch her and to
yeah.
get, and now she's recruited back to spirituality again. So now I'm lost again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on now? But it
Yeah.
is what it is. We have 2 minutes left, so it will be shutting off in a minute here. But
I mean,
yeah,
I've seen a lot of non-dual speakers revert back to spirituality.
that's so weird though. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't, maybe it'll happen to us. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know neither because I don't know.
I can't
I do.
imagine going back. I can't imagine going, like, I have no meaning of everything. So how could I go back and something means something? Like what? Like, I don't know.
I may do tarot, but for tarot with me, it's just what's coming up in the energy. I read the cards as they're in front of me. I'm reading what it's showing me,
But
and
you're
if the
not
people
like so strong about like
and
this is,
believing in it. Yeah. It's just if someone resonates with it, they resonate. If they don't, they don't, but spirituality, yeah, that's a belief. And I just don't have that belief there anymore. It's just gone.
yeah, yeah.
Church and all that shit. I don't believe in none of that stuff. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it because it just doesn't, it's
I don't
fucking,
have a belief of anything,
yeah,
there's no meaning or belief in
and
anything. It's
nothing.
just
Yeah.
life living, just life. It's like I'm life living and that's all there is, and it's what's appearing to happen. I'm sure we're gonna get cut off right now,
Yeah, it's happening. But
but
we'll do
thanks.
another
I
one here soon.
I know I enjoyed it so much. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.